Okay, well, I'm not a fan of this. Oh my goodness, this is looking so patchy. Oh my goodness. Hi everyone! So for today's video, we are going to take a look at the new Morphe 24A palette. Now this palette really caught my eye because of all the beautiful glitter shimmers. I'm going to show you swatches, and I'm also going to do 3 different looks using this palette. And on Instagram, I asked you if you wanted to see a specific color for my next looks, and the results are in. So 64% of you wanted to see yellow instead of pink, and 58% of you wanted to see green instead of red. So today I'm going to combine both colors. I'm going to do a yellow and green look. I'm first of all going to jump into the swatches. So I'm going to show you each shades. So I'm going to start with the first row. So I'm going to be starting with the shade All Access here. Okay, so first impression, this shade is really creamy. So this is a really nice white pearly shade with a golden shift to it. I would feel like as a highlight it could be very nice. Next I'm going to go into the shade hashtag okay, so we have another shimmer. So this shade is a little bit more bronze. Next I'm going to go into the Wild Out shade. This is super creamy. Oh, that's so pretty. It's like a really pretty, like golden with orange shift glitter, and I'm really surprised how creamy this glitter is. Next I'm going to go into the Security shade. So this is pretty nice. It's a little bit more cool toned. I see even a little bit of purple in there. And next we have the shade Stage Persona. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I'm obsessed with like purples and pinks, so I feel like this is really going to be my go-to shadow. We are going to continue with the second row. So I'm going to start with the shade Indio Whoa. Okay, I'm probably going to mispronounce all of these shades because French-Canadian accent and like difficult English nouns, it's not going to cut it for me. So I'm going to swatch the shade Indio Whoa. Oh, now this shade I'm really impressed. It really sticks to my skin and it's pretty bright too. I feel like this could be a really nice shade just to warm up any kind of eyeshadow look. Next, I'm going to go into the shade Portrait Mode, and this is a really interesting shade because it's a really like yellow toned brown. Okay, so this one is a little bit less pigmented. So it's a really nice khaki yellow brown shade. So next I'm going to go into the shade Get the Shot, and this is a really nice mustard yellow shade. So I feel like the mattes, well, usually every kind of matte shadow are a little bit less pigmented, a little bit more patchy. I am getting a little bit of trouble trying to get a nice pigment out of these shades. So next I'm going to go into the shade Desert Vibe, and this shade I feel like it's going to be one of my like favorites for an everyday look. It's a really nice warm toned brown. This would look perfect all over the crease, kind of like I would put a bronzer in my crease just to give a little bit more dimension. Next I'm going to go into the shade Seek shade, and that looks like a really nice deep purple brown shade. And next, for the fun part, we are going to go into the glitter shades right here. I'm going to start with the shade Front Row. It's a really nice gold shimmer. It's really pigmented and it's very warm. So it's not really on the green or the yellow side. It does have a lot of orange in it. Next, we're going to go into Private Oasis. This is one of my favorite. Look at this. It's like a really nice transparent blue shift shade. It's really unique. I'm going to go into the shade Spotlight Stealer. Now this name is really perfect for this shade. The stars are not wanting to stick on my arm, but I do have like arm hair and stuff. So it's probably because of that it's not really sticking. So yeah, I would have to see how this wears on the eyes because I feel like the glitter would just fall off. Next, I'm going to go into Very Fun Rose. So it's all the primary colors here. So I'm going to start with the shade Max Volume, which is the really bright pink shade. This I'm going to get a lot of use out of. Again, if you know me, I love my pinks, I love my colors, so this I'm really going to get a lot of use out of. I'm probably going to say this for every shade. Next, I'm going to go into the shade Green Room, which is a very bright green. Okay, so this one I feel I need to go in more, but still it really is pigmented and there's a lot of payoff. Next we are going to go into Under the Sun, which is the very bright yellow. Now this is going to be very interesting because usually yellows I feel are really difficult to get pigmentation. Yeah, this is a little bit more pastel than I thought. It's still very nice. I feel like I'm going to have to build it up, but I am seeing a little bit of patchiness. This is the shade Ride or Sky. There's a little bit of fallout, but I'm not really mad at it. I don't really mind fallout usually because whenever I do very bright, intense eye looks, I always start with my eyes so that I can clean up my complexion after. Next, I'm going to go into Major Inspo, which is the very deep purple. It is a little bit patchy. I feel like all of these very colorful shades are. But again, I would just have to see how this applies on the eyes. So this is it for the colorful row. Next, I'm going to go into the glitter row. I'm going to start with the shade Glitter Relief. And again, they feel very creamy. Ooh, okay, now this is what I'm talking about. So this is a really pretty, ooh, look at that shift. Can you see the shift? It's a really pretty duochrome glitter. So you have a pink with a blue shift and the blue is really intense. Next, I'm going to go into the shade Palm Tree, which is the green glitter. Ooh, okay, now I don't know why, but this reminds me of Christmas. Whenever you were young, you had to do like some Christmas tree with paper and then you would just throw a bunch of glitter on it. I feel like this is a really like nice Christmas ornament glitter. Next, I'm going to go into the shade Invite Only, and this looks like a really pretty white glitter. Ooh, okay, it's more yellow and orange than I thought it would. It's a really pretty orange yellowy shade. Next, I'm going to go into the shade Insta Baddie. Now this one doesn't have any shift to it. It's a really nice bright blue glitter. I'm really impressed. You see, compared to the other ones, this one is really compact and there's a lot of glitter in there. And last but not least, I'm going to go into the shade Mic Drop. Ooh, yeah. Now the purple one and the blue one are really similar in formula. It's a really true purple shade. There's no really shift to it like the blue one. Alright, so to get started with this makeup tutorial, I'm going to start by priming my eyelids, and for that, because I'm going to be using very intense colors, I'm going to prime using my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. Whenever I use very bright, colorful eyeshadows, I'd rather prime my eye using concealer because it's only going to make the eyeshadow pop better because all of the pigmentation on the lids is going to be hidden. I'm going to do one eye off camera and I'll be right back to show you step by step the other eye. So like I said in the intro, you wanted to see something yellow, something green from my Instagram stories. So this is what I came up with. Now I went into a little bit of trouble to try and make the yellow shade as bright as I could. So I'm just going to blend my concealer on my lid. First, I'm going to take the shade Under the Sun, which is the bright yellow. And I'm going to take this with a small packing brush. And I'm going to start packing this on my lid. And I'm really going to put this all over. And I'm really not going to blend anything because I'm going to do a kind of green cut crease right here. I just want to have the color lay down. And next I'm going to take the green shade next to it called Green Room. And I'm going to pack this and do kind of an eyeliner with this shade, and I'm going to fluff this out. And I'm not going to be very too careful with my under eye area because I'm going to clean everything up after. I feel like they're a little bit dry, like the yellow shade doesn't stick to certain area of my lid. So next I'm just going to create that inner corner crease right here. I'm going to take this shade Invite Only, and I'm going to take this with a flat brush. Now, I tried applying this with my finger to have more payoff, but it would just lift the yellow, so it wouldn't really stick to the yellow base that we already have. I'm just going to tap this on using a flat brush, and I really don't want this to be too compact. I just want a wash of glitter, and I'm not quite going to take it on my outer corner, but almost. Alright, looking good. I'm going to take my powder brush and I'm just going to wipe the excess glitter, and then using a wipe I'm just going to clean the wing, and I'm going to apply my under eye concealer using the same MAC one. And next I'm going to take a fluffy blending brush and I'm going to take the same yellow shade and I'm just going to blend this on my lower lashes. And for my lashes, I'm going to use the House of Lashes and Sephora collection in the style Yvette. It's just a really like natural lash, just because I really want the focus of this look to be the eyeshadow. And for foundation, I'm going to use my Fenty Beauty Hydrating Foundation. I mostly apply foundation on the perimeter of my skin, just because in the center, I know I'm going to be applying some concealer. I always like to use my flat brush just to spread the foundation, and then I'm going to go in with a sponge. And I'm also going to use the same MAC concealer and I'm going to put a little bit of this on my blemishes and also on the high points of my face. I'm also going to add just a little bit more in my inner corners right here, just because I feel that it's a little bit dark. But next, just to open up my eyes, I'm going to put a little bit of white liner. So next, I'm not going to powder my skin just because I really like the glowiness that I have going on right now and I don't really want to mattify my skin. I'm going to take my butter bronzer. This is a really nice bronzer for a very natural shimmer look. So I'm just going to put some on my temples, under my cheekbones. Alright, so I think that my camera cut off, so I'm going to explain to you just what I did with my complexion. So I went and applied the cream highlight from the Natasha and Denona palette. I applied it on my cheeks, on my forehead, on the bridge of the nose and the cupid's bow. And I went on top with the powdered highlight. And I also applied a little bit more of the powdered blush right on my cheeks and applied a little bit more bronzer. And after I just setted my whole face using the Rose Glow Mist from Pixie Cosmetics. And to finish, I applied my L'Oreal Rich Lipstick in the shade 800. And that's pretty much it for this look. I'm going to be doing 2 more looks tomorrow. So for you, it's going to be like in 2 seconds, but for me, it's actually going to be like tomorrow just because I don't want to do too many makeup looks on my eyes because my eyes are going to fall off. All right everyone, so today is the next day and my lids are thanking me because if I would have done 3 looks in the same day, my lids would just have fallen off. So today I'm going to do 2 looks, so in total we will have 3 looks with this amazing 24A palette. Today I asked you on Instagram which kind of looks you wanted to see, and someone said a deep blue spotlight. So I never really did any spotlight on my channel before, so I think this is a pretty good opportunity. Like usual, I'm going to prime my lids using my MAC Pro Longwear concealer, and as you can see, I already have my brows on. I'm not going to show you today how I do my complexion. I'm going to do the exact same thing as yesterday, just so that the video is a little bit more fast and concise. I'm going to start by going into the shade Stage Persona, which is the really nice lilac shade. I'm going to take that with a big fluffy brush, and I'm really going to put this all over my crease in my inner and outer corner. So I'm going to be doing a halo eye, but instead of applying the center shade all over the center of the lid, I'm really just going to do a spotlight look. So far, I really like this. It's really pigmented. Next, I'm going to grab the royal blue shade. Now, this is the shade Ride or Sky, and I'm going to pack this on my outer and inner corners. Ooh, okay, so first impression, it does have a lot of payoff. I hope it's not going to patch up like the yellow shade. So I was just packing the blue royal shade in my outer and inner corners, and I'm also packing it on the center of the lid. I really tried to pack this shade on, but whenever I apply more pigment, it just like lifts the pigment underneath, so it's kind of patching up a little bit. Like I feel like if I were to go with like a big fluffy brush and like swipe, all the pigment would just fly off. Next, I'm wanting to take a darker shade. I'm going to grab the Seek shade. I just want to deepen this area a little bit more. Okay, well, I'm not a fan of this. It's like not even wanting to stick on top of the blue. Like it's so patchy. It's really, really patchy. Oh my goodness, this is looking so patchy. Oh my goodness. Instead of priming with the concealer, I'm going to prime with the Urban Decay Primer Potion, just so that I can see if like it's going to make a difference. So I'm going to start by packing the blue on my lid. Right away, if you want to use this shade, you have to have a sticky base, definitely. So don't start with a transition shade because it's just going to get all over the place and it's not going to stick. These are just not going to work on top of each other. So I'm going to take that purple shade and I'm going to blend the edges using that. Yeah, this is going to look way better. All right, I'm much more happy with this now. So I'm going to be taking a little bit of concealer. I'm going to grab the MAC Pro Wear concealer and I'm just going to draw a line to do the spotlight effect. I'm going to start with the shade Private Oasis and I'm going to put this on top of the concealer. I'm going to do the same on the other eye and I'll be right back. Alright, so I finished my complexion, so I just applied the butter bronzer, the same highlight, but instead of applying the cream blush, I grabbed my cream blush from Fenty. This is my favorite blush at the moment. It's just beautiful. To finish my eyes, I'm going to grab a little bit of the lilac shade. I'm going to run it all over my lower lashes and I'm going to use the shade Major Inspo a little bit closer to my lash line. And next, for my inner corners, I'm going to take this same Private Oasis shade that I applied on my spotlight crease kind of thing. Alright, so for my lashes, I'm going to use these. Now, these are intense, so I'm really excited to try these. It's the style 34 from the Sephora collection. So I'm going to put on a little bit of mascara on my upper and lower lashes. Alright, so both my lashes are on and I'm obsessed. I love these lashes so much. So yeah, this is pretty much it for the second look. I am obsessed. It's so pretty. And these shades, they're really nice. They have a lot of payoff, like the blues and the purples that I tried today. But really make sure to apply them on a sticky base, because if you apply them on top of a powder, it's not going to stick. You really need a sticky base to have the most nice blend and also the most pigmentation and no patchiness. So I'm going to remove this eye look and I'll be right back. All right, so we are back. My eyes are burning, but the show must go on. So now I'm going to try and do a neutral look. So I'm probably going to use more of the neutral shades right here. I'm going to prime my eyes using the Urban Decay primer. Alright, so to get started, I'm really interested in the shade Portrait Maude. So I'm going to use that as a transition shade. So I'm going to grab that with my big fluffy brush and I'm going to blend this in my crease. Now I'm really not sure what kind of shape I'm going to go for this one. I really just want to make a very natural everyday look. I never really tried this kind of shade before. I don't know if I like it because it's looking a little bit green. The payoff is quite nice. It's a little bit more like yellow than I thought it would be. And with a smaller packing brush, I'm going to take this shade Desert Vibe and I'm going to pack this closer to my crease. And I kind of feel like trying the very bright gold shade, which is called Front Row. I think I'm going to take that with my finger and I'm going to pack this all over my lid. Ooh, yeah, that's a really pretty shade. I'm going to take the shade called Security, which is a very cool tone brown, and I'm going to pack this on my outer corner. I'm just going to switch with a fluffier compact brush and I'm going to blend this a little bit in my crease. Now this shade, I feel it's a little bit more patchy. I feel like all the very deep brown shades are very patchy. I'm just going to try and blend everything together. I feel like it's not as rich and as like pigmented. And just to test these glitters out, I'm going to grab the shade Wild Out and I'm going to tap this in the center of my lid just to give a little bit more shine. I really love these glittery shades. They feel super creamy. Ooh, and they're super pretty. Oh my god, look at... Oh, that's so pretty. And they're so easy to use. And they also have a very sticky like texture to them, so whenever you apply them, they really just stay in place. All right, so I'm just going to clean my under eye because we got some glitter fallout. And I'm also going to clean my eyeshadow on the corner here. And I'm going to reapply my under eye concealer. And just because I really want to try most of these colors out, I'm going to take the shade Indio Woe on a small packing brush. And I'm going to fluff this all over my under eye, just to have a pop of color. Oh, this shade is really pretty. Ooh, I like that. I'm also going to blend this with the brown on my outer corners. I'm just going to re-add a little bit of blush and highlight, and I'm going to do the same on the other eye, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm done with both eyes. This look turned out to be a little bit more dramatic than natural, but I don't mind. So next for my inner corner highlight, I'm going to just grab the shade All Access. This is a really pretty shade with a gold shift. So I'm just going to pack this in my inner corners. I'm going to apply some mascara and false lashes, and we will be done with the second look. Alright, so we are done with the 3 makeup looks. I have to say that I really love this palette. I feel like if you love your colors, if you like your glitters, but you also want your warm, neutral tones, everyday tones, this palette is the one for you. Now, if you don't use any colors and any glitters, then you shouldn't pick this one up. But if you love colors and glitters like me, you should definitely pick this one up because the glitters are really pretty. They're high quality. They have a really sticky base to them, so whenever you apply them on your lids, it's really going to stick, and they have a very pretty shine, so they're really easy to use. For all of the matte shadows, I would say be very careful when using them because they are a little bit patchy. So what I did to help the situation with the patchiness of these colorful shadows, I went in with a sticky base and directly applied the pigment on top so that the pigment would stick better. All of these lighter metallic and matte shades I really love. I'm probably going to have a lot of usage out of this shade right here, the purple one. It looks amazing. I'm probably going to do a look using this all over the lid. You know me, I love my purples and my pinks, and I love the concept of the bigger shadows in the center. All of these are beautiful. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you liked the 3 looks that I did for you today. Don't forget to subscribe. I put up new videos 3 times a week, so subscribe so that you don't miss any of my content. And that's it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.